Yo, what's up everyone? Today we are talking about the lightweight division, one of the best divisions in the UFC for a long time, if not the best division. A lot of the greatest fighters, most popular fighters are from this division. A great one. Now let's see how much it has evolved in the last 5-6 years. We are going to be breaking down how Khabib would do against the current top 15. Obviously Khabib was the champion, is one of the lightweight goats in MMA. He fought last time out in 2020. He has retired since. This was 5.5 years ago. A lot of different names, but also a lot of the same names are in the UFC right now, still ranked in the UFC right now. So let's see how much the division has changed and how well a guy like Khabib would do. He is from a different generation, but still it's only 5.5 years apart. So I'm curious to see for myself who he could beat and who he would lose to. Obviously Khabib was undefeated, 29-0, very dominant, has dominated everyone he's ever fought. I don't think that would be the case if he stayed fighting for 2-3 years or maybe even 5 years. I think that at some point he would definitely have some very hard fights. Let's see if he would actually lose some of them. So we're talking about prime Khabib, right? And then we're also talking about the guys that are current right now here, which a lot of them are still primed. But starting off with number 15, Faraz ZM. Honestly, low-key, it would be a hard-ish first round for Khabib. Because Faraz, his takedown defense is very good. He's pretty good in the grappling department. He's definitely a striker, good movement, very tall. So the first 2-3 minutes I feel like would be kind of tricky for Khabib. I know we know he has that crazy pressure. I feel like for at least a few moments Faraz could walk out of it, like move out of it. He has good footwork. He is a very smart fighter as well. But once he tires out even a bit, and once Khabib really gets to him, he is cooked. Let's be honest, he is cooked. But there's a few moments you'll be like, okay, Faraz actually doing good, and then like, oh, never mind. You know the Trevor Whitman meme where it's like, oh. That's what it would be. That's how I imagine this one going. Next up, number 14. You're getting cooked, Rufi. I'm sorry, bro. You are getting cooked. If you got cooked by Benoit Saint-Denis with the slow ass, telegraphed ass takedowns, you are getting cooked by Khabib, bro. This will not be close. This will not be fun. This will not be nothing. There's not going to be any laughing here for Rufi fans. He's getting cooked. Obviously, he's always had a puncher chance or kicker chance in this one. But I see Khabib getting this. Honestly, could be a first round finish even. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Another guy who could low-key like give a hard few minutes is Manuel Torres. His first round is some of the best in the division, some of the best in the UFC. Big power, good movement. This guy's crazy overall, like very good. He's a tough striker. Takedown defense is okay, not amazing. Can be taken down, and that's exactly what Khabib will do at some point. But he will be getting tagged in some moments. He will definitely be getting tagged in some moments. That is something I am sure of. Michael Chandler is not. He's not making it, bro. This will even be worse than the Rufi one, because Rufi at least has a puncher's or a kicker's chance. Chandler, no, he's just getting cooked. Hear me out. Prime Dariush with a good chin. There will be some moments where Dariush is scrambling out of positions. He's doing good, and you're like, wow, this guy's doing pretty good. Like, if he had a good chin, bro, this guy would be goated. This is so... bro, I'm crying. I'm tearing up talking about this. Beneil Dariush he would be the MMA GOAT if he had a good chin, but God decided to not do this. He got nerfed, bro. He got nerfed with a terrible ass chin. He gets touched by random shots, and he gets knocked out for no reason, bro. The BSD KO. How did he got slapped off of a weak ass clinch punch, bro? If he had a good chin, he would low-key be goated. Bro, I'm saying this. He would have become a champion at some point. I'm sorry, bro. I really do believe this. He has been set back for so many times because of his trash ass chin. But you can see his striking is very solid. His grappling is very, very good. His wrestling is very good. Obviously, I would say he loses to Khabib, even with a good chin. But he would still have a good few moments. I think low-key could maybe even win round 1, bro. And then get cooked from like 2, 3, 4, and 5 because his cardio is not as good as Khabib's. Nobody's is. But current Dariush or even a prime Dariush just gets chinned because his chin is terrible. That's just what it is. Like Khabib will fake a takedown, then clunky ass overhand, and he's cooked. That's just what it is. I would love for this to be different, but that's just what it is. Renato Monimoy Calvo. That means that he's getting bald. That's something he says himself. But yeah, I mean, he got cooked by Islam. I don't see this going very differently. I think Khabib gets this one done. Not as easy as Islam, I would say, because like Renato's pretty solid. I don't know if Khabib has the jiu-jitsu that Islam has, so he'd still beat him, like, but more with wrestling and then ground and pound finish, maybe around 2 or 3, you know. Next up, Rafael Fiziev. Listen, tough. He's a tough guy. I mean, his striking is very good. His hips are very strong. He can't defend a lot of takedowns, so it would be a tough first round. I would say tough-ish first round. At least in the first few minutes, it would remind me of somewhat of Gaethje versus Khabib, where Gaethje did tag him a lot, but it didn't really matter. I would see something similar: big low kicks, shots to the body, but because of the pressure that Khabib would definitely be setting on this guy, it would just be all for nothing because Khabib will take him down, like beat him up badly in round 1 and then finish him round 2. That's what I would say is happening. Next up, listen, this one, bro. BSD the type of guy to low-key beat Khabib in some weird-ass way, bro. I really do believe this. Yeah, I really do believe this. Like, no joke. I could see something like this happening. But no, Khabib cooks him. Like, is what this. Khabib cooks him. I think I forgot one other name, but Khabib cooks him. There's just no way that... BSD beats Khabib. I'm just like joking around, like there would be a big meme, but Khabib by whatever he wants. This guy gets cooked by Khabib in striking and wrestling. Bro, he got dominated so bad by Oliveira, bro. He got picked up. As a wrestler, he got picked up. No, Oliveira is like a very good grappler, but he's never really been the greatest wrestler. He's pretty good, but not like the craziest wrestler, right? Charles picked him up, dominated him on the ground entirely, completely, which he does, of course, but like the way he did it, as if he was a child, bro. I mean, Khabib obviously would do to him whatever he wanted, but you know. Next one. Dan Hookie. Like a third and a trima, brother. How this guy number 6? I still don't know how this guy's ranked number 6. With all due respect, you are so washed, just like Gamrot is. I mean, if we see what Arman did to you, bro. Arman looked like prime Khabib versus Dan Hooker, bro. Like, Arman is very good, don't get me wrong. But, like, that dominance, I have not seen it since prime Khabib. I'm not joking. I have not seen this dominance since prime Khabib. Like, it was so bad. The only thing he had, like, was this guillotine. So, it low-key looked like Khabib versus Poirier, but then worse. Even worse for Dan Hooker. So, Khabib is doing whatever he wants to. Now, this guy is very relevant right now for good and bad reasons. He's very tough, so I do respect that, but he has talked so much trash just to get cooked and even out-grappled by Justin Gaethje, bro. How do you get out-grappled by Justin Gaethje? How does this happen? And no, it wasn't like crazy out-grappling scenes. It was just the front headlock and Paddy couldn't get out of it. He was a bit hurt, sure, but still, bro, even in the clinch, you couldn't do anything to this guy. Khabib would do bad things to you, bro. Like, he's probably thinking that he can submit Khabib. Khabib would do the worst things known to mankind to this guy. This is not close. It's not competitive. Not interesting of a fight at all. Khabib does whatever he wants. He's already done whatever he wants to this guy. We don't have to talk about this. He's already cooked Gaethje, right? Did it with ease. took him down with ease, played with him a bit, and that was kind of prime Gaethje. This Gaethje was not a good version of Gaethje, in my opinion. He looked pretty bad, like pretty terrible even in my opinion, and he still beat Pimblet. Like, it was very slow, and the way he goes to the right all the time, bro. I don't understand how nobody can like flick a head kick up there. How is this guy still alive after doing the same defense, same movement every time? He still doesn't get knocked out. It's weird to me. He has this type of plot armor, like this crazy plot armor where nobody can hit him good, except for Max Holloway, obviously. But nobody can hit this guy cleanly because he's so wild, so crazy, so in your chest. So it makes sense, but also doesn't make sense, because come on, at some point somebody will have to be able to flick that head kick up there. Like, he's going so low as well. It's like a guy like Ilya could do it, because he's short, he still could do it, bro. But I don't know. Now this guy, low key, bro. This was scheduled 7 years ago, 2018, 8 years ago, almost even. Not a prime Holloway, nothing. His grappling is pretty good, but we haven't really seen him tested against big wrestlers, have we? Ilya took him down, but he stood up pretty easily, and that was unexpected. You know, Volk, I think, tried to take him down once or twice, didn't really happen, didn't really work out. Well, even though Volk is a very good wrestler. Max Holloway has good takedown defense. He has good get-up abilities. He hasn't really been needing to show it. I think he might need to show it against Charles. But I don't. It's hard for me to give a prediction to this fight. Like Max versus Khabib, prime Max right now is kind of primed. His chin might be somewhat of an issue, but I don't see that being an issue for Khabib. Now I'm saying his chin is an issue, but his chin is normal now. He cannot rely on it as he's done at featherweight. You know, that's what I mean. It's tough because you don't know how good Max's takedown defense is and how good his get-up ability is when he's getting taken down like 5 or 6 times, or someone's trying to take him down many times in a round. I feel like a lot of people give up in trying to take him down at some point after 1 or 2, but Khabib won't, obviously. And Max's cardio is better than Khabib's, likely. That's what I would think. Khabib has very good cardio, don't get me wrong, like insane cardio, some of the best in history. But Max might just have the best in history, right? Maybe after Merab, but still, Max, I have never seen this guy slow down. I have seen Merab slow down against Piotr. So I don't know. This is really a tough one. Prime for prime, I would still go with Khabib. Don't get me wrong, like that's what I would think is happening. But I don't know. I cannot tell you for sure. I cannot tell you for certain because we haven't seen this guy tested. But if you haven't seen it tested, that's, I mean, most of the time that's not a good sign, right? And you look at where he trains in Hawaii, good strikers, sure. I mean, he's obviously a very good striker, but I don't know any good wrestlers or grapplers on the level of the top, and like top 5 at lightweight. I don't see any of these guys training with him, so I don't know. I could not imagine him being as good as Khabib, or being able to defend his takedowns, or being able to survive the grappling pressure, you know. I haven't seen it. I think that he could definitely like defend takedown against Charles, for example. But Khabib, bro, after 5 or 6 takedown attempts, I don't see it. Because who has he ever showed it against, and who has he been training with to show like, okay, I can do this? Nobody of Khabib's caliber, or even close, I would say. I think so. I would have to go with Khabib, but obviously you don't. At the end of the day, you don't really know. You don't really know. So it's an interesting one, but I'm going Khabib. Next up, my GOAT, Charles Oliveira. Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I know that he loses to Khabib, right? We know this. He's losing to Khabib because he lost to Islam, and they have a similar style, but Khabib doesn't have the striking of Islam. Khabib doesn't have the jiu-jitsu of Islam. He has better wrestling, probably, I would say. Khabib has better pressure, better cardio, and I would say yes, definitely more than good enough, like grappling defense to defend all of the submission attempts. So I would say he beats Charles. He tires him out and he beats him, but it might be tricky. man. It might really be, because if he gets into the guillotine that Charles has, if he gets into the same guillotine that Dustin had on him, and then Charles has it, it would be a similar situation to the Arman thing, you know. But I feel like the one Dustin had on Khabib was much worse. And if he gives his chin up like this against Charles, might be tough, man. He's likely not going for these crazy like double legs. I would say that he's smart enough not to do that. But you know, it's a tough one. It's a tough-ish matchup for Khabib, I would say. But still, I'm going with Khabib. Better wrestling, much more pressure. And the striking, I would not say it's a good idea for Khabib to strike too long with him, because he has very good striking, does Charles. But you know, I would still think that Khabib gets it done. Now, this is an interesting one. Low key, bro. I might get a lot of hate for this, but low key, I would say that Arman, like, he has the better striking. But the wrestling is kind of close. I would say. He has very good wrestling. I think the weapon that Khabib has is the fact that his pressure is insane and he doesn't let you breathe. I don't know if he would let a guy like Arman breathe. I think that Arman could defend a lot of the takedowns. He could defend a lot of the things that Khabib would be doing to him, but he would get tired at some point. I think he might win round 1. I think he might have a close round 2, but you cannot, a guy like Arman at least cannot wrestle with Khabib as long as Khabib can himself. You know, you cannot wrestle with him as long as Khabib can go. He can go 10 rounds. Arman can go very hard 3, could go pretty hard 4, could go pretty hard 5 rounds. But Khabib would break you down, bro. He has insane cardio, insane relentless pressure. And I think after 2 rounds, 3 rounds, Arman, I wouldn't say he would be broken, but he would not be the same. It would be a decision, I think, but a pretty clear one. Maybe 48, 47 if you're lucky, if you're Arman. But I would say 49, 46 is definitely in the cards there. I would say Khabib loses the first round, and then from there on he takes it over, you know. Now another very interesting one. Of course, the champion, Ilia Toptoro versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's kind of funny that both of those like names Connor like mispronounced. Toptoro versus Nurmagomedov. How do I say this? Once again, I would say it's a tough first round. I think that Ilia has the skills. I think skill for skill, Ilia is better. Much better striking, much better defensive striking. Wrestling, I would say obviously Khabib. Grappling, I would give to Ilia probably. But like, it's different aspects. Like the wrestling aspect of grappling, obviously to Khabib. The grappling, the skill grappling, submission grappling, I would definitely go to Ilia. I would say Ilia, if this is a 1-round fight, Ilia wins. Obviously, it's not a 1-round fight. We'll have 5 rounds. Ilia would win round 1. I don't know how he would be able to handle the pressure of Khabib. I don't know how his cardio is. Like, he's saying that his cardio is insane. Even like at lightweight is even better. At featherweight, when his cardio was very good, because he went 5 hard rounds with Emmett and he didn't really look too tired, and he was still like out wrestling him in some moments. But this pace that he has, it's not too high. It's a very controlled pace. He controls the pace. And against Max in a very hard fight, a very high volume fight, he was looking good in round 3 and even finished Max in round 3. Even though you would think that Max would like start taking over from that point on, but he looked good. Obviously, he didn't look perfect, but Max didn't either at that point. It was a hard fight, like damage on both sides, and he still was able to finish him around 3. He looked very good. He kind of like, I don't know, I might be reading too much into this, but against Charles, like after the grappling, I thought I saw him do like something like a small little bit of tiredness. And I feel like against Khabib, then you're done if that's already what's happening to you. That's normal. A normal fighter has this. But against Khabib, you cannot have this. You have to have insane cardio to be able to get it done, or you finish him early, which I could low-key see happening maybe 10% of the time, where Ilia just catches him, because Khabib is so relentless but also so crazy. When he fights, he leaves his chin open. He does like crazy strikes or whatnot. So I could definitely see it happening like 1 out of 10 times where he just chins him in round 1. But that's not necessarily what I would think happens. I think it's a very tough 2 rounds for Khabib. But from there on, I would think that he beats him, and I think he finishes Ilya. I would say he finishes him at some point. Not Arman, but I would think he finishes him. It's just a different matchup. I just have this feeling that he would finish him, but very tough, and there's a good chance. I think that Ilya actually like hurts Khabib, not like the Dustin Poirier where he just running back and Joe Rogan screaming, "Oh, he's hurt," even though he wasn't. Or against Michael Johnson, same thing. He didn't get hurt, but Joe Rogan's like, "Oh, he's hurt," blah blah blah, bullshit. I think Ilya might actually like knock him down, but then Khabib stands up and he cooks him. That's what I would think. Now, I got an extra one for you guys. This is the champion, obviously, at lightweight, but I had to include this one. Khabib versus Islam, bro. This is such a tough one. A lot of people like asking themselves who wins between Prime Khabib and Prime Islam. This is, as I said, a very tough one. At lightweight, let's say like weight doesn't matter. So let's say 165, 170 for both these guys. So we like the skill sets are at 100%. They weigh about the same, and then like the cardio isn't affected by the weight cut and that type of stuff, right? So we're talking like perfect scenario. Islam's had some cardio issues at 155 because of the big weight cut. That's what he's saying, at least. He looked good at 170 easy, but also a very easy fight, right? I still think that Islam has some cardio issues because he's just so big and bulky. I think that Khabib loses round 1. I feel like Islam has better jiu-jitsu in my opinion, much better striking, much more technical. The wrestling, I would say, definitely goes to Khabib. I feel like Islam's wrestling, it's obviously very good, but it's levels. I don't know if I want to say levels, but there's definitely a difference between Khabib and Islam. That's what I would say for sure is the case. I think he loses rounds 1 and 2, does Khabib. I think that Islam beats him clearly in round 1 and 2, but from 3, I think Khabib takes over. Once again, I think that the cardio will be an issue for Islam. Khabib has such relentless pressure. I don't know if Islam can deal with it. At some point we saw against Volkanovski, for example, he was not able to deal with the pressure that Volk gave to him. I think that Khabib at some point takes him to the ground. A lot of ground and pound. Islam tires a bit. I don't think he gets finished because he's very tough and his cardio is not terrible. It's still very good. Don't get me wrong. It's still like, I don't know if I would say elite cardio, but he makes it look elite because he doesn't have to do that much, But I would say he has very good cardio, like 9 out of 10. But I feel like you need more than 9 out of 10, or you need to be much better than Khabib to be able to beat him. So I'm going with Khabib. I'm going 48-47, close fight. I think that Islam does more damage, but I think, at least in the beginning, I don't know, I think that Khabib does more damage. So I'm gonna have that turnaround. I think that Khabib does more damage because of late ground and pound. So I'm going with Khabib. I think that he would still remain undefeated, but definitely have much more hard fights with guys like Arman, with guys like Ilya. Islam, I feel like his wrestling is just too good though. I think this would be a much harder era for him, much harder. I don't think that we can really compare. And we see Khabib as this like mythical creature fighter that's insane, but I think if he had to defend all these like fights, all these times, I think at some point if he had to defend 5, 6, 7 times, he would lose, maybe like get caught at some point, but then a rematch and he cooks the opponent. Something like this I could definitely see. But overall, Khabib is the lightweight GOAT in my opinion because he's just too good. 3 title defenses, cooked everyone, dominated everyone, nobody was close. Islam might be the GOAT as well. I don't really mind one of these guys, but I would say for me personally, Khabib is the lightweight GOAT. He's one of the greats. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.